What's up, everyone? Here for another episode of Freedom Hacks, episode number 4. And today's going to be an interesting one because it's something that happened today that is so applicable to what happens to almost every single entrepreneur on a day-to-day basis. And before I get into that, I want to remind you that tomorrow is our first free live training. So it's the longest episode of the week, but I'm giving away some great free value, some free training, all in line with really how to create a level of freedom, fulfillment, happiness, and success, profit, all of the above within your business, and really how to develop a signature program and service that's really designed to help and impact a lot of people while giving you the lifestyle that you want. End of that pitch, all right? Today's topic is all about flexibility, and I got a new toy. I don't know if you guys have seen these Smooves, but I just unboxed it now and I am playing with it. It does lots of cool things, but I'm sure I will, I'll actually read the instructions this time. Normally I'm one of those stubborn guys that thinks I'll just work it out. But anyway, I'll get back on track. Today's episode is all about flexibility. And what I mean by flexibility is being flexible enough in your approach. So when I am setting my daily routine, when I'm setting a list of tasks, priorities, intentions, anything like that, obviously those are the things that I want to achieve within a certain time frame, or that's the way that I expect something to go. And when it doesn't go that way, how does that affect me? You know, what emotions come up? How do I react? How do I still move forward based on what happened? And one of the highest skills I see in very successful entrepreneurs is the skill of being highly flexible and adaptive to whatever happens, right? That regardless of the circumstance, regardless of the situation, that you're able to have the flexibility in your approach to still achieve the same outcome or objective. All right, so let's say, for example, simple terms, right? You said you were gonna work out today. Right, you set yourself a goal of, I'm going to train for 30 minutes today. I'm going to do weights or cardio, whatever it might be. Or I'm going to read for 20 minutes. I'm going to write in my journal for 20 minutes, right? Something really small. But you get up, something happens, one of the kids is sick, or you slept in, your alarm didn't go off, you lost something, you got a bad email, whatever, right? Stuff comes up. The one guarantee I can give you in life is that shit will happen, right? Guaranteed on a daily basis sometimes. But once that happens, what happened to your outcome and objective? Do you then react the rest of the day? Does it affect your whole emotional state and being, your level of happiness, whatever else? And then you don't end up achieving that outcome. You don't stay committed to that promise, right? And you don't end up gaining momentum or moving past certain limitations, right? One of those limitations is consistency, right? People just aren't consistent enough and they just don't do the do often enough, right? And today was one of those days for me, right? I have a very strict routine. When I say strict, like I'm strict about it, right? Like I love to stick to it. Does it always happen? No. And one of the things I've had to learn is that I have to be flexible within that routine because the end outcomes are still important to me. And I guess that's where I'm strict. Like I don't want to compromise on what I want that end outcome to be each day and what I want to achieve during it, right? But I've had to learn to be adaptable and flexible with my approach around that routine. So if I can't train at certain times, if calls change, if clients can't do certain things, if it takes me longer to work out the certain marketing strategy or set something up, or I'm working with my virtual assistants and they're taking longer to get stuff to me, or there's a miscommunication, right? Lots of things happen. But if I work around that and I fit in what I need to around that, I prioritize certain times for certain things, even if those times change, sometimes from a day-to-day, routine, then I'm still able to achieve the end outcome. I'm still able to put my head on the pillow at the end of the night and go, do you know what? Like I achieved what I wanted to achieve. And I felt good that regardless of what was thrown at me, I was still able to do that, right? And I didn't let what didn't go my way dictate my outcome. And I think that's the key part about learning to be very flexible and adaptable as an entrepreneur is, did I still achieve my end outcome at the end of the day, regardless of what happened? And if I didn't, how did that affect me and what am I going to do about it, right? And I'll give you guys some great examples. Today we had one out of nowhere. We got a massive bill and a very short amount of time to be able to pay it. Like I'm talking not a fun sort of bill to have to pay. And we had no idea that it was even something that was going to happen. Like, it wasn't even in our realm of thought that it was even a possibility. But it's here, it's in front of us, right? So it's easy, you know, even Jess, she's messaging me and like, I just want to cry, I don't know what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. I'm not giving her crap, right? But that's the instant reaction, right? Rather than, well, hey, what happens if we do pay it? What's the outcome? Do we end up in a better situation? Are we able to do it? Are there still possible solutions? Or is it hands in the air, we don't know what we're gonna do and there's no solution, right? I think as an entrepreneur, when you get to that point, it's time to completely change what you're doing, right? Because I don't believe that anything is ever too bad to at least keep trying something, all right? I had a client opened up his second location, a second business, and things going really, really well, you know, amazingly well in such a short period of time. And he got hit with a $77,000 bill that recurs interest every month. And Adam, if you're listening to this, I'm sharing your story, right? But like, it doesn't even make sense why he's getting charged what he's being charged. Like, it's just, there's no rhyme or reason. And even the amount that they came up with was ridiculous. But we sat down on a call a couple of weeks ago and we're looking at this and I'm like, look, do you have to pay it? And the answer is yes. Does it suck? Yes. Is it going to change what you're trying to achieve here? And if the answer is no, then cool. Let's just work out the solution to that. Let's be flexible in our approach so that we can still achieve the same outcome. If we've got to divert and find that $77,000, how can we do that? And we focus on the solution. We realized we had to be a bit more flexible in what we were willing to compromise on in order to get that paid. And then we get back to focusing on the end objective, which is to keep growing that business until, you know, in 2 years' time, you don't even remember the $77,000 that you had to pay, right? And I'm sure all of you can relate to that. So the two words I want you to take away from today's episode, right, is flexibility and adaptable, right? And realize that whatever end objective that you're trying to achieve is still possible, even if you have to change the how or the approach. But be aware that, did you allow yourself to get in such a state and react to something that in some ways was out of your control in such a way that it took you from achieving that end outcome? You didn't end up putting your head down on the pillow at the end of today and achieve what you want, move forward the way you wanted to, stuck to the promises you set for yourself. Because at the end of the day, results don't lie, right? That's the stuff that counts. All of this other BS, all the drama, all the shit that you have to deal with at the end of the day, in a year's time, you're not even going to remember it. But you are going to remember whether or not you're in the situation you want to be and you've achieved what you have set the intentions to achieve. So take that on board, and I look forward to connecting with you guys tomorrow in the first free live training. And yeah, if you ever have any comments or if there's anything you want me to dive into, please comment below or share this with anyone that you think would benefit from it. Bye.